Talk Shoes.
Recorded live.
Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Travis and Vic's Drunken Horror Adventures. Vic just got the that thumbs down from Jer. I told you, Vic. I told you Jer wasn't calling in.
I know, but it was worth a shot.
Jer hates us now. At least Blake still likes us. What's up, Blake?
What's up, guys?
I don't know why you do, but he does. He's sitting there rocking out while we're doing the show.
Sorry, I'm so sorry about that, guys.
He's like, rock and roll is in my soul.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, rock and roll.
There you go. Hell yeah.
Well, fellas, it's been a few weeks. I had a week off last week, but I wouldn't even call it a week off. I'm pretty sure I was drinking anyway. I was in Florida for a week, and I just have to say, I don't want to go back to Disney World with children for a while. I'm good.
No, it
Jared's telling us to whore him on the podcast, and he didn't realize we already started whoring him on the podcast. he shouldn't be surprised. Poor Jared. Poor Jared Bear. But anyway, y'all, so this is a hard fucking show. We were talking about this beforehand, and for those of you that have been following the show, first we did the top 10 pre-1970s horror movies. Not an easy list, but, you know, especially because there's so many there. And then we did the 1970s horror movie list, which was really freaking hard. I mean, especially when you get to the top and you have to actually say, okay, this one's better than this one, this one's better than this one. That's really hard, too. But, I mean, as hard as those two were, I think this one's even harder because we're talking about 1 year, and 1980 is not, no disrespect to some of the ones in here, but 1980 I don't feel like it's as loaded as some other years of the 80s with great horror movies. I mean, let's face it, this movie this year with Friday the 13th kind of kicked off the slasher craze. I know Halloween kind of inspired it all, but for me, the 80s kind of kicked off with Friday the 13th as far as slashers go.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yeah, absolutely. 1980 was a hard year because, well, for one, there weren't that many really great horror films out that year, and then on the other hand, there were a couple of really great ones, but there were some other gems that you kind of have to have taste like the three of us have. You kind of have to have, well, I'll give it a try, and if it's not good, fuck it. You know, I'll at least say I tried. But there were some that I found that I really liked, that a lot of people probably don't know about. I'm certain you fellas know, but that'll be fun because I can guarantee my list is probably infinitely more different than either one of yours. So it always is.
It is, and that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
It is, but I tell you what, you know what's interesting is that, Blake, you kind of touched on it. There are a lot of hidden gems in 1980. So, I mean, if you guys have not yet, look up on Wikipedia or elsewhere all the horror movies from 1980. And you will find a diverse list, and you'll have a bunch of movies that you need to research and watch, because basically that's what I did this week. Before I get into, I'm not going to get into the movies I've watched. I'll wait until after we do our list. But, I mean, I'm sure people have seen on the Travis and Vic Horror account what movies have been being watched. And some made the cut and some didn't, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah. I sit around and my thing pops up, Travis and Vic currently watching whatever. And I'm like, who the fuck cares but me, but I'll go ahead and read it because I'm always getting some notifications you guys are watching something. I was like, these bastards, I wish that's what I could do all day is just sit on my ass and watch fucking scary movies. That'd be a beautiful.
Don't look on me. I sit at my desk while I'm working, and I have a big screen TV above my desk. And their horror movies play all day long.
That is the kind of job to have. Outside of what I do, I really think that I would like to be a professional horror movie critic and somebody that just watches those films and is paid to watch those films. To me, even if they're shitty, it would be worth it because you'd be getting paid for it.
Funny little tidbit about me. Whenever I graduated high school, they had the most likely to become or whatever in our yearbook, and I was most likely to become a movie critic. So they must have nailed that shit.
Well, this is pretty close. I mean, that's what you're doing right now with this. What you guys do with the show here. I mean, it's pretty fucking close. They called that shit pretty close, man.
They know what's up.
Yeah.
So, I guess we'll go ahead and get into things. Who wants to go first? You want me to go first, or one of you guys want to go first?
No, I want you to go first. I want to go first.
It's you guys' show. I will go when you tell me to. How's that? That's one.
I'll tell you what. I never go first, so this time I'm going to go first.
Yeah, okay? yeah, I'm going to go first. Damn right. There you go. Yeah.
I'm married with children. I don't ever get to be in charge of anything. So
I thought you were about to say I'm married with children. I don't ever get to come first. I was like, that's bullshit.
Oh, not anymore. Anyway.
Oh.
I'm just fucking with you. All right, so let's get into this. Okay, so again, top 10 horror movies from the year 1980. And I'm starting my list off with a movie that I watched earlier today, and it's you want to talk about a lost gem of horror movies? This is it. It is a type of slasher that Vic has probably never seen. Blake, I'm sure you've probably seen it because you've seen some weird shit. But Vic, you would love this movie. You would love this movie. It's about a roided up dude killing hookers and other chicks and raping them. It's Don't Answer the Phone from 1980, of course. Anyone seen this one?
I have seen bits and pieces. I've seen bits and pieces of that.
I've seen the remake.
But this one from 1980 is not bad, and it's fucking good shit. And you know, it's just like any other of the movies from that era. Like, it's kind of disjointed and corny, but at the same time, there's some good shit in here. And I will tell you this about movies from 1980. A lot of these fucking movies are longer than they need to be. You know? They're longer than they have time. Like, an hour and a half's good. You guys don't need to go any longer than that. You get to 140 and it's too much. So, but good one. If you guys have not seen it, anyone that's listening, Don't Answer the Phone from 1980. You can actually find it on YouTube. So just a little FYI there.
So what he's saying is there's no excuse for you not to watch this shit.
All right. Who the hell knows with the who has the rights to this at this point? So I doubt you're robbing anybody or pirating. So you can watch. All right. So Victor, I will let you go for your number 10, sir.
All right. Well, first of all, just let me say, 1980 was kind of a bad year for horror. I mean, there's a few good ones, but there's a lot of bad. And I didn't watch any movies leading up to this because that's what I do. So I'm going everything based off of memory. From when I saw them back when I was like 5 years old. So, but my number 10, I'm going with Terror Train.
Nice. Now, I'm going to give this away. I'll just let everybody know. My number 10 was Terror Train all day until I watched Don't Answer the Phone, and then Terror Train got bumped out of my list.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Terror Train's one of those. It's a fucking whodunit, just like all those other movies from that era with Jamie Lee Curtis. We may get into another one later because Jamie Lee Curtis was fucking busy in 1980, wasn't she?
She was, man.
You know,
she was young and younger back then.
Yeah, most people think of her as the scream queen, but it wasn't spaced out very far. Most of it was just within a few years of each other, and then she went on to do she didn't show her tits until she went legit.
Wow, that's screen reference. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Terror Train. I don't feel like that's a movie that is rated. And I'm gonna put it this way: there are certain movies that are overrated. There are certain movies that are underrated, and that movie is just not rated at all. I feel like it's kind of forgotten as well. You know what I mean? People just don't think of it. That it's not something people think about.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
I think I'm going to spend a lot of time kind of going through some more movies from 1980 because I only scratched the surface. There's a lot of shit out there that I still need to watch, especially some of the foreign horror movies. which I'll get into some of that after we do our list. But, I mean, there's a lot of shit out there that you can get your hands on without having to pay a lot of money. So, just FYI, but, yeah. Blake, you're up at number 10, sir.
All right, fantastic. You know, we were speaking earlier about just some hidden gems, but there was something I really noticed, and it might just be my taste, but there was a real shortage of creature features, you know, good ones in the 80s. But I kind of got to digging around, and when I was young, I discovered this. When I was about 12 or 13, my number 10 is alligator, because it's a fucking alligator and it eats people. I mean, come on, you know, it's so fucking cheesy, but it's worth to watch if you haven't seen it. And it's got 1980 written all over it too. It's just, there's no way around it. And there's some good effects for its time and some good kills, but it was just one of the best creature features that I remember from 80, because again, 81, 82, 83, 84, they all had really, really good creature, you know, films. But 80 just kind of had a real good shortage of them. The only other one I would have put on the list would probably be Humanoids from the Deep, but, you know, I did not put that one on my list. So, but, yeah, Alligator. Alligator is the shit. If you haven't seen it, you will never get those hour and a half back, but it will be worth it. So.
Let me just say about Alligator, you know, when we were kids and we'd go to the movie store and we'd see fucking badass movies sitting on the horror shelf, Alligator is one of the movies that I think of because it had cool box art with a fucking alligator in the sewers. Vic's favorite animal, by the way, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, this is my favorite animal.
I mean, it's sitting there in a VHS package, and, you know, it's got this badass tagline, and it's about a giant alligator, I think in the New York fucking sewers. It says it lives 50 feet beneath the city. It's 36 feet long. It weighs 2,000 pounds, and it's about to break out. Yeah, this fucking movie. Blake, it was one that came very, very close to making my top 10, and the only thing that screwed it was the fact that I tried to watch it on YouTube, because I sure don't have a copy of this movie, and it was one of those YouTube movies where they've, like, zoomed it in really, really far, and they do that so they can actually, you know, put a movie on YouTube and not get it taken down, and so I just never got to watch it. It may be top 10 worthy, but I tell you what, this fucking box art back from the 80s is so classic, and Alligator's the shit. Makes me think of Lake Placid.
Yeah, Lake Placid is the shit, man.
You know, funny story, and Vic probably knows the story. First date my wife and I ever went on. I was 17, she was 16. We went and saw Lake Placid at Showcase Cinemas on Bardstown Road, and then we never had a date again until like 13 years later. True story.
Oh, God.
Lake Placid. And I loved it. She didn't care for it. Still to this day, she didn't like it. But I thought Lake Placid was the shit. So that's my interesting story. But, yeah, we've all got different number 10s. I'm not the least bit surprised, fellas. Even though there's not a large variety of movies to choose from, this is like, what's your cup of tea type of list, I think, at this point. You know, especially when you get into the bottom of the top 10. I mean, shit, you want to talk about all over the place. God. I mean, I seriously expect Blake to have some crazy shit on his list, and I can't wait to hear it. Vic, I expect yours to be almost all slashers. We'll see. I'm sure you picked a couple in there, but...
Jesus.
I guess that puts me at number 9, and I'm going to mention a movie that I barely remember a thing about, other than the fact that I really liked it, and I feel like Vic on this one because I haven't got to watch the movie, and so I can't talk much about it other than I remember it from my childhood, and I felt like it needed to be in the top 10. Altered States. Blake, you probably know more about Altered States than I do. Talk about it real quick if you remember it.
Yeah, that is another one of those kind of hidden gems. Anybody that's not really a fan of the psychological stuff probably wouldn't even give it a second thought, but it's really good. It's a lot of psychological as well as some physical terror. But I mean, again, it's one of those that is it's one of those that's very, very underrated in my opinion. It has some great transformation sequences. I don't want to give too much of it away, but have you ever thought about what effect drugs have on the mind and the body? And you've always thought it's going to be, you know, something really tame and kind of, you know, laid back. Watch this movie. That'll change your perception in a fucking heartbeat. I'm telling you.
Yeah, this reminds me of what's the shit that everybody said that, or one of the conspiracy theories about Charles Manson and the Jonestown